Today we are going to plan an entire month's worth of Instagram content in hopefully just an hour or so. A new month is coming up, which means it's time for a whole new content batching session. In this video, you're going to come along for the content creation process with me, specifically the part where we come up with ideas for Instagram and plan out our content calendar, which I know can be one of the more challenging parts for creators. I feel like it can be kind of like opening up a new Word document and just staring at that cursor blinking back at you and feeling like this is a blank page and I don't know what to write on it. So I'm hoping that this video can help you out a little bit and maybe provide a little bit of inspiration, let you in on some of the latest trends so that you can leave this video feeling ready to plan your own content. So let's get into it. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Katie and I'm here to be your guide through the journey of becoming a content creator. Whatever Instagram struggles you've been through, trust me, I have been there. And I'm gonna be there for you. I'll be honest, y'all, I'm feeling a little bit rusty with my content creation. I actually last planned and batched a whole bunch of content before I left on my trip in the van. So that would have been early January, and that was for all the content I've been posting through February. You'd have seen this all in my first video in the Plan With Me series, which I'll link up here if you want to check it out. And of course, in the comments of that video, y'all let me know that you'd be interested in seeing monthly installments of videos where I take you through my process of planning my Instagram content. So that's what we're gonna do today. But it has been a while and I'm feeling a little bit out of practice, so I'm hoping today we can dive in, get some inspiration, and feel good about the content batching that we're going to do from here. And I haven't created any reels or done any content batching from the van yet, so I'm also a little bit nervous to see how that goes. So I'm hoping today we can plan a bunch of stuff and I'll have a good idea of what I need to create, so then hopefully in the next week or so I'll be able to batch all these different reels. Probably over a few days rather than in my classic like one day get it all done sort of thing that I used to do at home. It might take a little bit longer, but that's all right. New circumstances, new challenge, we figure it out. So even though I'm a little bit nervous about this content creation process, we're gonna be in it together. Honestly, I think I'm gonna need some caffeine to get through this, so I'm gonna go make an iced coffee and then let's dive in to the brainstorming. I've got my iced coffee, and yes, I swear this is coffee. I maybe overdid it a little bit on the milk. It's really light, but tastes good. The first step in our content brainstorming process is to review audience feedback. So if you watched my analytics review video from a few weeks ago, then you'll know there are a couple trends that I pulled out of my Instagram insights from the past month that have led me to some conclusions about the types of content that I want to focus more on in March. Specifically, I want to keep doing a bunch of reels. I definitely want to keep doing more high value carousel posts because when I was looking through my stats, I actually found that these are the types of posts that actually convert the most new followers. Now that's of course just when it comes to feed posts because you can't actually see how many new follows that a reel generated. That information isn't available in Reels Insights, but when it comes to my feed content, these informational carousels generate the most new followers. So I definitely want to make more of those. And then finally, if I can work in some body image, like body positivity content and some more like feed photos, I will. We'll see if there's an opportunity for that. But those are kind of the types of posts that work the best for me. So that's kind of the first stage of the audience feedback gathering, is just looking at your insights and seeing what content performed the best. To gather some more audience feedback, I'm going to scroll through my YouTube comments and maybe some of my Instagram comments as well, and we'll see if there's any main themes that come out of that. Okay, so I pulled some ideas from that research. Now I'm going to start filling out this really basic table that I just made in Notion. I kind of figured out that there's 5 different categories of posts that I want to make based on my analysis of my insights. And so I've got 3 different kinds of reels here because I want most of my content to really be reels. And then I've got 2 categories for carousels and then photos or memes. So that's kind of the breakdown that I'm going to aim for. And as you can see, there are 25 different boxes in this table because there's about 25 weekdays in March, and I decided that I want to aim for posting once every weekday this coming month because I think that hopefully that's a reasonable goal. That's like kind of ideal. Sometimes, like even in January, I was actually posting twice per day at some points, but I don't think that's really reasonable for me to take on right now. So I'm just gonna try to aim to come up with 25 ideas. So from the feedback that I found through like comments and stuff, I've got a couple tutorials ideas, so I'm just gonna jot those into my chart. Okay, so I think that's a really good start. Before we move on to our second step of brainstorming and ideation, which is checking for news and trends, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Camo. Camo is this really cool app that turns your phone into a high quality webcam. It's a fast and effective way to get DSLR quality video for your meetings or your live streams. And all you need is your phone and Camo. Let me show you how easy it is to get this set up. First, I'm going to connect my phone to my laptop using this USB-C cord. Next, I'll open up the Camo app on my laptop and on my iPhone. And now you can see that I can see on my computer what I can see on my phone. Finally, for the ideal setup, I'm going to use this tripod with a phone mount so that I can set up my phone horizontally facing me. Check out that quality. It looks so good. You can see just how good this looks compared to my built-in webcam here on the photo booth app. I've got just my regular webcam rocking and it looks a little rough. And here in Camo, super high quality, looks amazing. You can switch the lenses that you're using, so you can go wide, ultra wide to get a really cool looking view, or telephoto if you want that zoom. Look how high quality that zoom is. I'm partial to ultra wide because I feel like this is a look that you would never normally get with a webcam. You can also choose different overlays for your videos, which is really cool. So if you're going into an important client meeting, then you can choose to have branding if you want on the screen. Something a little like this. Of course, you could add your own logo. And what I think is amazing and really makes this stand out from any other way that you're able to record video directly to your laptop is you can actually change the exposure, the brightness, the hue, the saturation, all within the Camo app. Ooh, party colors. And Camo isn't just for live streams or meetings. Using this app, you can record high quality footage directly to your laptop, which makes the whole YouTube production process so seamless. A Camo Pro license is just $4.99 a month, or you could try out the free version, which will allow you to record up to 720p video. So go check out Camo today at the link in the description below. Okay, for our next step, I'm going to start doing some research into the latest news and trends in the marketing world. Of course, this is going to look different for everybody. You're going to look up different news sites, different profiles, depending on what niche you're in. But what I tend to do as somebody that creates educational content about marketing is I like to check out Adam Mosseri's Instagram. He's the head of Instagram and announces like new features, different things that the app is prioritizing. I go to like Social Media Today and TechCrunch and some of these different news websites to see if there is any changes that I should be letting my audience know about. And there's also a couple like hacker type people that I follow on Twitter that are always checking for different things that Instagram is currently working on to see if there's like, I don't know, a new feature coming out that they're testing, and then I could like kind of preview that to my people. So first, I'm just gonna head over to @Mosseri on Instagram, and like I see every single video that he posts, so I kind of already know this. There's private story likes coming out. I could maybe make a post out of that, but it also seems a little too small. Like, I don't really know what the takeaway from that would necessarily be. Maybe there could be some content there about like how to create a more engaging Instagram story. So maybe what we're actually looking at for a kind of post idea here is a carousel that's a little bit more evergreen. I could maybe mention the whole story likes thing to get people interested as the hook, but then really make it about engagement on stories. So I'm going to add that to my list as a carousel idea, how to make more engaging Instagram stories. I feel like that could also even start a conversation more generally about like what is a successful Instagram story, or maybe as a more like introductory kind of carousel. Something that I talk about a lot is how like every different type of post on Instagram has a different purpose. So maybe there would be a carousel there talking about like the different purpose of every different type of post. So like talking about how stories contribute to your strategy and how reels do and how feed posts do. So maybe I could do a carousel on the purpose of every type of Instagram post. Okay, so next, why don't we go over to some news sites and see if there's anything worth talking about. Okay, so on social media today, Twitter launches new labels to identify bot accounts. Could Instagram and Facebook really be removed from Europe? I kind of find that interesting because I find the whole, like, I don't know, politics of the internet interesting, but I don't know if that would be super relevant to my audience or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll open that up and see what the follow-up on that is. Instagram adds new features for Safer Internet Day. Again, I don't know. We'll follow up on that, but I feel like that might not be that, I don't know, interesting to the audience. Okay, that was a helpful little look around. I don't know that I grabbed a lot of industry news from that. There isn't always something, so that's okay, but I think it's worth looking because even if you're not reporting on something up to the moment, because I do know we're planning this content like a month in advance, right? But if you can talk about like the implications of it or what it might mean for X or Y, then I think it's still worthwhile posting about it. After checking out news, it's time to go to step 3 of my brainstorming process, and that is looking for any leftover ideas from last month. This is always the easiest part. I like to keep a running note going throughout the month if I like come up with ideas while I'm doing other work and I'm not actively doing this content creation process. So I'm just gonna go and look at my list and see if there's anything that I think would still be relevant for content ideas for next month. I just realized that this chart that I made actually had 6 rows when it only needed to have 5. So we have finished coming up with our carousel ideas. That's awesome. Some other ideas that I had left over from last month might be effective reels. So like how to spot a fake brand deal, kind of talking about the brand ambassador scam on Instagram, and maybe how to use someone else's Notion template, like the step-by-step of how to get that on your Notion. I don't know. That one might be a little bit boring because it's like pretty straightforward to do. But then I also thought about doing more in my series that I kind of started for TikTok called What No One Tells You About Being a Content Creator, but I'm just now starting to test them out on Reels and they seem to be doing decently well. So I might create some more like Reels along that line too. And obviously I post all my Reels on TikTok and Reels as well. So I think those could be some good ideas to start from too. Okay, now that we've got a bunch of ideas that have kind of rolled over from last month, we looked at the news and trends, I'm now going to check my handy dandy TikTok thread with myself, because if you watched the last video in this series, you'll know that basically what I do when I'm scrolling on TikTok is I send any audios or trends or just like styles of TikToks that I think might be applicable to my niche. I just send them to myself in a DM. So now when I go back to my little message thread with myself, I've got all kinds of ideas that I can pick from. Now, I will say I do have less this month because I haven't been watching TikTok as much since we've been in the van. But I do think there might be some good ideas here to pull from. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's a really big trend, like where you disappear. I don't know if that's still a thing. We'll think about that. Oh yeah, I was thinking that me and Dan could do this. This would be cute, but I don't know. Oh yeah, this is the Picasso one. I think I could do a reel that's the like, I like that Picasso kind of thing. Maybe it would be like when I see my followers like creating good content or something like that. I don't know, it could have to do with like me being proud of when you make your own good Instagram content. I had this idea with the trending audio that's like, they call me this, they call me that, that I could kind of do it as like a content creator, and then I could, instead of having different names, it would be like, they call me a podcaster, they call me a YouTuber, they call me an Instagrammer, and then at the end it would be like, I'm really just a content creator or whatever. There could be, I don't know, I'll think more about what those names could be, but I think that that could be a good concept for a trend reel. Okay, I think I got some ideas out of that. Some of the stuff that I had sent myself, it's like maybe out of date, maybe not still like trending or relevant, but it's something. We got some ideas here. The fifth stage in my content creation process is to check out the Explore page, the Discover page, and Pinterest to get some inspiration. Pinterest specifically just for photos, like if I want to shoot some like kind of creative images. I still need to come up with what those like captions might be, because that's normally where I like to start with when it comes to more like in-depth like editorial photos. I want to have a really solid caption that I can pair with it. So I kind of need to brainstorm that a little bit more, but I could probably find some cool inspo images on Pinterest that I could replicate. For now, let's check out the Instagram Explore page real quick. Ooh, that's cute. I love little graphics like that. Oh, what's Sam Hewen doing here? No, focus. Focus, Katie. Mariah Carey's appearance in The Proud Family. That's iconic. Okay, it's so easy to get distracted on your Explore page, but this is for research. This is for actual professional research. Research, y'all. Oh my gosh, are those alligators? Okay, what the frick? There is not a lot helping me out on today's Explore page. What the heck? I really like the minimalist vibe and the text on that. How I got over 1,600 profile visits and 500 followers from one post. Ooh, that's a good headline. I love this idea of like putting results first to think about how I could use that kind of a format. I kind of want to go to her profile because this is impressive stuff. Ooh, I really like the style of her graphics. I want to follow this girl. And that, my friends, is an effective Instagram post because I just came and followed her. So that was a really good post. I think starting with a bold result like that, I could probably make one about my own Instagram insights. I actually feel like I've been making these YouTube videos where I show y'all like what my Instagram insights were and what the results were. And I could do that in a carousel. That's actually a really good idea. Okay, I feel like we've got some ideas here. I feel like my Instagram Explore page isn't necessarily the most accurate to, well, no, let's be honest. It serves me the Sam Hewen content, and it knows me well enough, but not necessarily like work-related stuff. So I'm gonna check out the TikTok Discover page, and I always like to check this out just to see what the sort of big audios are right now. Okay, I like this. This ranking trend, I could definitely do that. Okay, sending myself this so I save the audio. I feel like I could rank like Instagram strategies or something. That could be fun. Oh my gosh, this Phoebe Bridgers song is back. I love it. Okay, definitely doing this trend because I could definitely make it about like my previous self being excited about where I am now, and it could definitely have to do with the van. That would be so good. Okay. And probably what I will do is I will plan these more trendy ones to be at the front end of March, so they're more likely to still be kind of, I don't know, on trend at that point. And then I will probably kind of like put my tutorials more so to the second half of the month. And then some of these trends that are a little bit more like, they've been around for a while, they probably will keep being around for a while. All right, and that is my process for coming up with Instagram content ideas. Here's a look at my chart of content ideas. Now, what my next step is to actually schedule these all into my Notion content calendar. So what I'm gonna do for y'all is insert a clip here of what my content calendar looks like after I've done all the scheduling, because I'll be honest with y'all, it is almost 6 o'clock and it is getting dark outside, so we're not going to keep filming. I did try to do this all in an hour, and I'm going to have to follow up and finish this later. But I do think kind of starting out with a really rough grid like I did of kind of what different types of content you want to make, and then you can just fill in your rough ideas, schedule it more formally afterwards. It kind of helps you kind of flow with your ideas a little bit better rather than doing a lot of this nitty-gritty scheduling and Notion stuff until you've actually got your ideas. By the way, if you want to be able to schedule your content in Notion the exact same way I do, I've actually got a Notion content calendar template that I just released. It's for sale on my website, and it is in-depth, y'all, okay? This is basically an upgraded, more polished version of the exact one that I use, and it's great if you are creating content across different platforms like with me, because there's all different categories and all different labels for Instagram, YouTube, podcast, and you can add your own. So if you want to check that out, I will link it in the description. You can schedule your content using that. Thanks for coming along on this journey. I am a little bit nervous, but also a little bit excited to batch all of this content. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.